What took me from manifesting a few $100s every single month to then manifesting a few $1,000s every single month to then, at my best month, manifesting $26,000 was different identities. I'll be honest, there would be times when I had bad months. There would be times when I would be stuck between two numbers. There would be times when I would be really struggling. But one good thing about me is that I developed the habit of tracking and journaling everything down in my journal. And then I would go to the last pages of my journal, putting the dates and the specific pages, because I would track each and every single page with numbers. So I would add page 1, page 2, page 3, and at the end of the pages, like I'll go to the last part of my journal, I would add the pages of when I did good and when I did bad. So then if I had a good month or when I felt down, I would go back to these pages and see how I would be acting. Because I realized one main thing about manifestation is that it all comes down to how you think, how you feel, and how you act. Now here's the thing, you can change how you think, feel, and act right after this, or actually while having this chit chat with me. The issue is that people, they programmed you to think that it takes a lot of time to reprogram your subconscious mind to manifest your dream reality, which is total BS, by the way. You don't need to reprogram your mind. All you have to do is just embody a different identity. And let me give you an example. Back in 2022, when I had literally no money to my name, I had like $100 to my name. I needed a job some way or another, and I didn't even know how I was gonna get it because I had no qualifications whatsoever. I had no previous experience. I had no education that could put me in a good job. All I needed is just a job that could pay me some good money. However, what I would do every single day, despite me not knowing how I'm gonna get a job, is get in a meditative state and just completely relax my body. I'll completely detach my attention from the outside world and I'll just shift it inward. I'll completely relax my body by feeling each and every single part of my body relaxing. So I'll start with the top of my head and with my toes, and then I would sense myself like mentally relax. So first I physically relax, then I mentally relax, and then the third part of the meditation is just completely turn inward. And what I would do is I would just embody as if I already have a job. At that time I wanted to make a few $1,000s, although it's not a lot of money. To me at that time it seemed like a lot of money. So what I would do in my meditative position is that I would just embody as if I have a job that brings me a few $1,000s every single month. And I did that for about 2-3 weeks, until at one point I was scrolling on TikTok and then I came across a video of somebody promoting their job offering on there. They were like, listen, we're looking for sales positions, we're looking to hire salespeople. I mean, if you think you're a good fit, apply. Now here's the thing, I was not qualified whatsoever. I was not qualified for the job, nor did I have any sales experience, but something in my heart told me to apply. I applied and I got accepted. I literally got an email like 2 days later saying, listen, we're looking to set up a call. Are you free on this day? I said yes. We booked the call. I get on board. The call after that was literally me being trained by somebody called Vaselina, whatever her name was. Now the best part is that by the third month of me being on the job, I made $11,000. The job was commission based. It was a sales position. I never had any experience in sales, yet it did give me the money that I was looking for. All because I embodied as if I already had the job that paid me a few $1,000s. Now, I did leave the job on the third month and I decided to do my own thing, which most people would say like it's stupid. You shouldn't leave your job. You should stay in the job and then try to build your own thing. I was like, you know what? I like to be competitive. I like to just risk everything. So I just left the job and I went ahead and started my own business, which at the time was an agency. However, it took me 7 months to find success. But again, I used to track everything down in my journal. Every single day, I would write when I had a bad day and how I would feel and how I would act during that time. And what I realized is that the reason why it took me 7 months to find any success is because I always dwelt in the idea that I could never build something on my own. I always dwelt in the idea that I am not going to be successful by building my own thing. And the reason for that is because of the beliefs that I inherited from my father. My father, he was successful at some point, but then he failed at some point. But the way he would motivate me is by making sure that I will be a nobody in the future unless I act and do something about my life right now. Now, of course, this is the wrong way to motivate somebody, but these kind of beliefs stuck around with me when I wanted to build my own thing. But then on the 7th month of me trying to build my own thing, I signed a client for $14,000. How did I go from just struggling for 7 months to finally signing a client who paid me $14,000? It's all because I went back to my old habits. Because for 7 months, all I did was dwell back in old habits, dwell back in old ways of thinking. I would feel the wrong way, I would act the wrong way, and the way I perceived myself was completely wrong, and it had nothing to do with the person that I wanted to become. And when I shifted that, that's when the opportunities, the people, and the circumstances started to fall in place. Now, I will say this, that the business that I started back then, which was the agency, is not what I run now, but I used the exact same principles to build my current business, which at its best month did $26,000. So how does the law of attraction work? It's all by shifting your identity. Right here, right now, pick a desire that you want to have and see yourself and see the world as if that desire is already obtained. And I want you to keep that feeling within you and feel it every single day for as long as you can. Try to make it a practice where you sit down 3 times a day and just embody the person you want to be. Embody the person that you wish to become as if that's who you are right now. That's how you shift your identity. It's not about meditating or frequencies or all that type of stuff. It's all about just embodying who you wish to be as if that's who you are right now. Do that for a long time, for as long as you can. It doesn't have to be for a long time. Just do that for as long as you can. Always be conscious of the person that you wish to become as if that's who you are now. So then eventually the circumstances, the events, and the people start to show up in your life to make that thing that you wish you could have had become your actual reality. That's how manifestation works. That's how the law of attraction works. That's how Neville Goddard taught his techniques. That's how the law of assumption works. That's how you shift your identity, which is by taking the person you wish to become and embody it as if that's who you are right now. Do that for as long as you can, and then things will become your true reality.